Whether you have 10 million shillings or 1 billion shillings for an election campaign, you will use it all. From giving people water because they attended your rally, printing tens of thousands of posters, to paying polling agents, there is nothing that comes free in an election campaign. And no, it is no longer like it was before where people took you for your promise to serve. Things have been changing with every election cycle. Are campaigns becoming more commercialized? Stephen Okello of Katakwi District says campaigns have become so commercialized that service is now a trade.
There is a lot that has to be put in, and this consumes the budget because, first and foremost, the constituency is very big. So at times you can produce, what I've seen, you can produce banners, maybe you can produce posters, but in the next day they are hit by rain, or maybe they have been torn, and definitely you have to incur more. For every campaign to be successful, there must be a team behind it or staff. So I can talk about the staff and logistics. Here, this team must be facilitated. Take for instance, we are organizing any function, any event, maybe it is a rally. These people need to have lunch. You have to take care of them. You have to put in transport for their transportation.
Charles Mangali, an aspiring candidate in Budadiri West Sironko district, speaks of the big constituency, saying he must inject finances to ensure the message about his candidacy and manifesto are well spread.
For example, in Budadiri West, we have over 115 parishes, and all these are supposed to have these materials to show that at least this is a member of parliament, this is how it looks like, and of course, by the time you go there, they know. And then, and that cost, each banner goes for close to 500 shillings, Uganda shillings. And when you calculate that, we're looking at the 21 sub-counties and town councils. Within, you find that it goes to, you have to make something like around 30,000 posters, at least fairly, for you to reach each and everywhere. Banners in each town council and major training centers. Those ones also go for, you can't go below at least 10,000 of them to ensure that at least you really goes. And of course, most of those banners are a bit expensive. One goes for close to around 30,000, depending on the size of the banner. Also look at agents. You know, you must have agents in every parish. You talked about 115 parishes, but in every village you must have an agent. So every agent is supposed to have facilitation.
Ms. Sarah Opendi shares her journey through the different campaigns, from an entrant to today where she's an incumbent. And as a minister, she says it is more complicated as the demands are higher. Looking at the past village primaries, she spent about 300 million shillings to cater for mobilization, car hire, polling agents, and so many others. As she looks to the general elections, she says it will not cost any less.
NRM party primaries. And of course, the NRM party primaries now, that's another issue. So what I did was to use radio, but also just run through the entire district with rallies. There was ample time for the campaigns. You had about a month and a half. So it was easy to run around. And then, of course, I had to get a small public address system, which I invested in my agents, I must say.
Okay.
Because I had to invest in the agents to mobilize people, and then I would go through the rallies. I find people already mobilized, speak at one rally and run to another. I spent maybe about 670 million shillings at that time.
The cost is even higher in the Ankole region, where an election is not just that one is elected into office, but an invitation to the table of opportunities. When people lose, they're not crying for the loss, but the millions they invested in, much of it from lenders. Joan Salmon, NTV.